Hello there and welcome to the Colcester Model Railway Fleet Update for July 2025. Now it's been a while since we did one of these and there has been quite a few changes to the fleet, some of which we will see at the end have now gone missing, but we also have some new ones which we need to now put into the mix, and you'll see those later on as well. So without further ado, we shall get on with the fleet update, which will, as usual, encompass 3 stages, the first of which is steam. Now, in truth, we've only got the one steam locomotive. That is my precious Flying Scotsman in its apple green LNER livery. And this one will be mostly doing heritage steam services on the layout, running back and forth, and it'll only run occasionally, but nevertheless when it does run, it should obviously encompass the whole layout. So it will be on the main line, obviously running through the main Colcester station. It can start and finish from the storage yards as well, although specifically its setup is designed to run non-stop, and it can go out onto the garden loop as well. When it goes into the station, depending on the amount of carriages it's going to be put in, it'll either come onto platform 2 going in one direction towards the garden, or coming in from the garden it will arrive on platform 3, but it could go on platform 4. So now let's have a look at the diesel sort of engines that we've got, and we're going to start off with the tiny little shunter that we have, which is the Class 08. This one is normally just going to be seen scuttling back and forth between sidings and the storage yard. It's not really designed to do anything like sort of long distance. So what you're going to see is it basically starting in the sidings around the station, and then it will make its way down to the sidings in the storage yard. Next up we have the Class 37, which is in the Network Rail yellow livery, which is really striking. I do quite like this one. And this one is going to be part of a track maintenance train. Now, I have some carriages for this already, also in Network Rail's distinctive yellow livery, and a breakdown crane as well. So this is going to form quite a distinctive train, and that's going to obviously trundle its way around the layout in various directions, and you'll see it on and off. Now we have one other Class 37, which is in the Direct Rail Services livery. This one's by a curious scale, very highly detailed, quite heavy, and this one is going to be doing mixed freight duties, probably helping out with the EWS workload as well. So you'll also see this one scuttling around on the layout from time to time. Now for the freight movements, it can start and finish from the storage yard, but again this one will probably be in continuous use around. And most importantly, it will use the central avoiding line through the middle of the station when going to and from the layout to the garden loop. Now we also have a couple of Class 66s. The first one is this one in EWS livery. I've had this one a little while now, and I've got some EWS trucks as well to go with it, and a brake van, so we have a nice little train that can set up behind this one, and it will also again do the main freight loop around the layout. It will be accompanied by this one, which is the one in special NHS livery with Sir Captain Tom Moore dedication plate on it. This again will probably help out with mixed duties and a little bit of the EWS freight movements as well. So when this one goes out and about on the layout, or when both of them do, what you'll see them doing is basically, again, using the central avoiding line through the station so they don't clog up the platforms. They can go to and from the storage yard, but again, most likely they will stick to the main line and go out to the garden loop and come back in again. So you'll just be seeing them going around and around. Next up we have the Class 68, which is in the Transpennine livery with the nameplate Splendid. Now this one makes up a set. It comes with a 5-coach pack with a DVT, driving van trailer, and that enables this to do passenger services in a push-pull format. So basically it can power in one direction using the diesel engine and return back using the DVT in the other. This entire set looks quite stunning, and I really enjoy sort of like looking at this one. I think it's highly detailed as well. So this will be sticking mostly to the main line, and then obviously it can go in and out of the storage yards because of the push-pull facility, so it can go in both directions, and it will also go out onto the garden loop as well, so you'll be seeing it going around that part. When it goes into the main station at Colcester, it will then use the following platforms, which will be platform 2 when going out towards the garden loop. Coming back in from the garden, it will then come back in on platform 4. So next up we have the 2-car DMU diesel units, which are basically just for commuters and that, so they'll be shuttling back and forth. They'll be serving Furman Smithy station as well. And this one is the Class 150, which is a relative new one to the sort of addition to the fleet. This has got like carriage lighting inside and everything, and full running lights. It's really nice. It complements the other one I've got, which is the rather more basic Hornby Class 156, which is this one. So both in the Regional Railways livery. They will be obviously, like I said, stopping in the main station, stopping in Furman Smithy, and also going out onto the garden loop and coming back in again. So you'll see these ones quite a bit doing their little services around the layout. The other key thing about these two DMUs is they have got specified platform bays. So they're going to use the main line, like I said. They can go basically in and out of the storage yards because they again push-pull. They can go in either direction. And they can also, like I said, go out onto the garden loop. When they come back in though, from wherever they've gone, they, like I said, will come into these specific platforms. And as we see on the map here, we've got 2. So we've got platform 1B, which is bi-directional. And then beneath that, we've got platform 5, which again is also bi-directional. And this will enable them to go out and about in either direction. So now we have the electric and bi-mode fleet. Now bi-mode obviously is fairly new. We're going to kick off with the Class 87 though, which is a fully electric locomotive. This one is Sir Winston Churchill in the Virgin Railways livery, and it'll be doing passenger commuter servicing. It's going to have a driving van trailer at the end, or DVT, so it'll have effectively push-pull operation. And it's effectively going to be a limited stop service, but in the fictional world of Colcester that could be several stations, so you'll see this one quite a lot. So going back to the map of the layout, we will see that it will be using obviously the main line all the way through the layout. It will then also be able to operate to and from the upper and lower storage yards because it's got push-pull capacity. And it will also go out onto the garden loop, so it will complete its journey by going through there. In the actual station, the allocated platforms for this one, when it's going towards the garden, it will leave from platform 2. And then when it comes back in from the garden, it will come in onto platform 3. Now we come to a fleet of locos that I've got. Now I've got 4 of these now. These are Class 90s. The first one here is Financial Times in the Intercity Swallow livery. This one again will have a rake of coaches which will enable it to do push-pull with a DVT at the end. And then obviously this will be a regular commuter express service as well. One of the other Class 90s I've got, which was also in this livery, I have actually renamed. So this one is now called Joan Smith. This has been renamed in honour of my late wife, and the nameplate, as you can see, has been attached onto the side of the loco already. So this one now again will be with coaches and a DVT, so it'll be a full commuter express service again. I've got two more Class 90s. This one is in the executive intercity livery, and this one has also had a new nameplate fitted on them. This has been given the nameplate of the City of Colcester, so that reflects obviously the history of the layouts, because there's been well, there will be up to 4 Colcester layouts now. So that nameplate has been attached to this particular loco, and again with coaches and a DVT it will be in a push-pull operation commuter service. And the final one that I've got, the last Class 90, is this one here in Virgin livery with the nameplate City of Glasgow. And again, this one's going to have coaches on it and also DVT. So again, push-pull operation, and it will be doing limited express service. So on the map of the layout, they'll be using the main line for all of these services. They can also go in and out of the upper and lower storage yards because of the push-pull capacity. And they'll also be going out onto the garden loop as well. So you'll be seeing them complete their route there. In the station platforms, all of these services with the length of carriages that they'll have will be going out to the garden from platform 2. And then when they return back in again, they will come back in on platform number 3. And that will complete their journey. Next up, we have Hornby's retooled Class 91s. Now I've got 4 of these locomotives. First one here is in the Intercity Swallow livery, which has got the nameplate Durham Cathedral. This one won't be renamed at all. This is going to stay exactly as it is. And again, we have a rake of carriages and a DVT for push-pull operation for this. Next up, we have the Flying Scotsman livery Class 91. So again, rake of carriages for this one, and the DVT, which again is colour coded to the loco. And this will also be a passenger express push-pull service, doing the same thing again around the layouts. The next one we have is again a Class 91 called the Fusiliers in the LNER livery. And this one again, we have the coaches already in stock for this one, and I've got the DVT for it as well. So this one again will be operating push-pull facility, and it will be able to do the passenger express services again, as will the other two. And lastly, we have another one in the LNER livery, which was called the Fusiliers, but it's been renamed to Brian Leslie Smith in honour of my late father. And the nameplate for that one again has already been fitted to the loco. So this one again will be having coaches and a DVT and passenger express service on a push-pull. They'll use the main line going in and out of the station. They can also use the upper and lower storage yards. So again, push-pull capacity enables them to do that. And they can also go out onto the garden loop, which will then complete their route. When they come back into the station in either direction, they'll be used in platform number 2 to go out towards the garden. And then when they come back in again from the garden, they will be using platform number 4. That keeps number 3 free for other movements as well by mixing it up a bit. Next we have the Class 92. I can't really say this one very well. I think it's Bertolt Brecht, and it's in the EWS livery. And this one is for freight, and basically it will also be carrying obviously the EWS wagons and brake van that I've got, and it'll be doing mixed freight duties for that one as well. So for this one, it's going to be using the central avoiding line going through the station to keep the platforms clear. It will then also can use the storage yards, although to be honest, it will probably just stay to the main line. And then it will go out onto the garden loop as well to complete its journey around there. So next we have the Class 350 and Silverlink livery. Now we've got 4 of these units, and they are going to take up the bulk of the commuter service for the electric trains. They did a lot of the testing on the original Mark III layout as well, so they are quite useful little 4-car units to have. These ones obviously have got push-pull capacity again, so they'll also be stopping at Furman Smithy Station, and they've got dedicated platforms as well in the main station at Colcester. So on the map they'll be using again the main line. Once they've gone around the main line and make a stop at Firm and Smithy, they can also use the upper and lower storage yards because of the push-pull capacity. And they can also go out onto the garden loop to complete their route that way. When they come back in and they head for Colcester International Station, they have dedicated platforms. The first one is platform 1A at the top here, and the other one will be down the bottom, which is going to be platform number 4. And that again keeps the main running lines clear. Next up we have the Class 373 Eurostar. Now we've got 2 of these, and we've also got the extended coach packs as well, so that they can be made a little bit longer, these trains. The coach packs give you like 2 extra divisional coaches to put into the setup. These trains are virtually going to be non-stop, but they will occasionally come into platforms at Colcester International, hence the station's international name. And they are mostly going to be doing international passenger services as well. So on the map, that will look a little bit like this, just using the main line, okay? But like I said, they'll probably use a mix of the central avoiding line and obviously platform lines. They can use the storage yards as well, and they will go out onto the garden loop, and that usually will complete their journey. So when they do use the station and they come in, if they're not going through on the central avoiding line, they will basically zip straight through on that one if they're going to use it. But otherwise, they will come into either platform number 2 heading towards the garden, or when they return back in from the garden, they will come into platform number 3. And that completes their route. Next up, we have the Class 395 Javelin services. Now, these ones are in the southeastern livery. These were probably one of the first trains I actually got. I've got, I think the first one I got was a Javelin. So yeah, basically these are going to be doing high-speed passenger commuter services. They are push-pull capacity as well, so they can go either way. And basically, these are going to take up some of the slack from the 4-car electric units that we already have, being as they are 6-car units. I got this one in the special Hornby Visitor Centre livery as well. I think that was the most recent 395 that I purchased. So looking at the map, how these will operate is, again, they'll stick to the main line. They may or may not stop at Firm and Smithy, and also they can go in and out of the upper and lower storage yards as well because of the push-pull capacity. And they'll be out on the garden loop as well, so that they can complete their run and come back in again. When they head into the international station, they can use some of the outer platforms, but they're most likely going to use platform 1A. And then they'll also use, coming back in, platform 4. This is basically just to keep the main running lines clear again. So moving on from that, to supplement the Class 350s, we now have Class 755/4 Stadler Flirts in the Greater Angular livery. We've got 2 of these now, 4-car units. These are wonderful little models, and having looked them over and had a quick sort of shifty around all the detail and everything, I think they're absolutely brilliant. So these are going to supplement the Class 350s, as I said, and they're going to be running regular commuter services, stopping at Firm and Smithy, running around in and out of the international station, and going out onto the garden loop and back in again to complete their loop. So you'll be seeing a lot of these intermixed with the Class 350s, so there'll be quite a intense passenger service for commuters. So like I said, using the main line, they'll go in and out of the main station and Firm and Smithy. They can use the upper and lower storage yards as well, because they have the pull capacity. And they'll also go out onto the garden loop again as well. That completes their route. In the actual station itself, when they come in and out of this one, again, they've got allocated platforms, so they'll come into platform 1A at the top here. And then when they're going back in again from the garden, they should come into platform 4 again, thus keeping the main running lines clear once again for the express services. Now, we have the Class 800 Azuma. Now, as you can see from the boxes, I've got 4 of these ones, and these are going to be making up like the bulk of the high-speed passenger services on the layout. So the idea is that at any given time, you'll see 2 in the station and 2 will be in the storage yards, and they'll be swapping over all the while. Basically, these trains are some of my favourites. I love looking at these on the East Coast main line, especially when they come zooming through. And Hornby's model, I think, is absolutely excellent. Captures the detail and the profile of the trains extremely well. So, on the map, how this will work is they'll be on the main line, obviously. What they can also do, because of their end-to-end push-pull capacity, they can go in and out of the storage yards as well. So 2 of them will be stored in there all the while. And they'll also be going out onto the garden loop to complete their run. When they come back in again, they will head into the station, and because of the length of the carriages and the train itself, they will probably come in onto platform 2 when they're heading towards the garden, and coming back from the garden they'll come in onto platform 3. That will account then for the extra length of the train. Now we also have this one. This is a brand new one, and it's the Class 802/5 Nova in Transpennine livery. This is a 5-car unit, and again it's a push-pull service as well, got the capability to do that. So this one will be doing like express passenger services as well, and it will be basically working in conjunction with the Class 68 and its set of coaches and DVT. So the 2 of them will be working together. For that instance then, this one will be used in the main line on the map here. It will then have the ability to go in and out of the storage yards again, so it's got the pull capacity, and it will also then complete its route by going in and out from the garden loop as well. Once it's done that and it goes into the station, again we've got allocated platforms for it. Now this one should be able to fit onto platform 2 quite easily, so it'll be using that one on the way to the garden, and then coming back again it will drop off at platform 3 on the return journey. So that's basically it. We're all up to date again now, and just to let you know, these now are some of the locos that we no longer have at Colcester. Until next time, I will see you again. Bye for now.